Praise be to Allah, whose praise the eloquent cannot adequately express, whose blessings the counters cannot enumerate, and whose right the strivers cannot fully discharge, whom the far-reaching aspirations cannot attain, and whom the deep-diving intellects cannot reach. He for whose description no limited boundary exists, no existing attribute suffices, no counted time is appointed, and no extended term is fixed. He originated the creatures by his power, dispersed the winds by his mercy, and stabilized the shaking of his earth with rocks. The beginning of religion is knowing him. The perfection of knowing him is affirming him. The perfection of affirming him is professing his oneness. The perfection of professing his oneness is sincerity towards him. And the perfection of sincerity towards him is denying attributes from him. Because every attribute testifies that it is different from the thing described, and every described thing testifies that it is different from the attribute. Thus, whoever attributes to Allah, the glorified, has associated with him. Whoever associates with him has doubled him. Whoever doubles him has divided him. Whoever divides him is ignorant of him. Whoever is ignorant of him is pointed to him. Whoever points to him has limited him. Whoever limits him has numbered him. Whoever says in what has enclosed him, and whoever says on what has emptied him of being in something else. He exists without having come into being, and is present without having ceased to be. He is with everything, not in physical proximity, and other than everything, not in separation. He acts, but without the connotation of movement or instruments. He sees even when there is none of his creation to be observed. He is one, such that there is no one with whom he keeps company or whose absence he misses. He initiated creation without deliberation that he pondered, experience that he drew upon, motion that he originated, or restlessness of soul that disturbed him. He assigned things to their times, harmonized their differences, instilled their instincts and attached them to their forms, knowing them before beginning them, encompassing their limits and ends, and aware of their connections and intricacies. Then the glorified one split open the atmosphere, cleaved the regions and the layers of air. He made a flow in the water whose waves surged violently, whose surge piled up abundantly. He loaded it upon a fierce wind, a shattering storm. He commanded it to return it, gave it authority over its intensity, and bound it to its limit. The air is beneath it open, the water above it pouring. Then the glorified one created a wind that restrained its gust, perpetuated its course, intensified its flow, and distanced its origin. He commanded it to churn the surging water and stir the waves of the seas. It churned it like the churning of a skin bag, lashed it in the open spaces, turning its beginning to its end and its still part to its turbulent part, until its foam rose high and its waves piled up in heaps. He raised it into the open air and vast sky, and formed from it 7 heavens. He made the lowest of them a restrained wave, and the highest a protected roof and a raised ceiling, without pillars to support them or pegs to hold them together. Then he adorned them with the ornament of stars and the light of meteors, and hung in them a shining lamp and a luminous moon in a revolving orbit, a moving ceiling, and a shifting firmament. Then he cleaved what is between the high heavens, and filled them with various types of his angels. Some of them in prostration, who do not bow, bowers who do not stand upright, arrays who do not disperse, glorifiers who do not tire. Sleep does not overtake them, negligence does not affect their minds, weariness does not weaken their bodies, and forgetfulness does not touch them. Among them are trustees of his revelation, tongues to his messengers, and those who carry out his decrees and commands. Among them are guardians of his servants and gatekeepers of the gates of his gardens. Among them are those whose feet are fixed in the lowest earth while their necks pass through the highest heaven. Their limbs emerge from the boundaries, and their shoulders fit the pillars of the throne. They lower their gazes before him, veil themselves beneath him with their wings. Barriers of dignity and veils of power are placed between them and those below them. They do not imagine their Lord through images, do not ascribe to him attributes of the created, do not limit him to places, and do not point to him with similitudes. Then the glorified one gathered from the rough and smooth of the earth its sweet and saline parts, soil which he knaaded with water until it became pure, and moistened with moisture until it became sticky. From it, he molded a form with curves and joints, limbs and segments. He solidified it until it set firm and hardened it until it rang, for a fixed period and a known term. Then he breathed into it from his spirit, so it stood as a person with minds to ponder with, thoughts to employ, limbs to serve him, instruments to manipulate, knowledge to distinguish truth from falsehood, tastes, smells, colors, and kinds mixed with clays of different colors resembling qualities, opposing natures and contrasting mixtures of heat and cold, moisture and dryness.
Allah the Glorified asked the angels to fulfill the trust He entrusted to them in the covenant of his testament to them, in submitting to prostration before him and humbling themselves before his honor. He said the glorified prostrate to Adam. They prostrated, except Iblis' pride overtook him. Misfortune prevailed over him, and he boasted of being created from fire and despised creation from clay. So Allah granted him respite as a deserving of wrath, completion of trial, and fulfillment of promise, saying, "You are of those reprieved until the day of the known time." Then the glorified settled Adam in an abode where he made his life comfortable and his stay safe, and warned him of Iblis. And his enmity, his enemy, deceived him out of envy for his abode of permanence and companionship with the righteous. So he exchanged certainty for doubt, determination for weakness, joy for fear, and assurance for regret. Then Allah the Glorified extended for him in his repentance, taught him the words of his mercy, promised him return to his garden, and sent him down to the abode of trial and procreation of offspring. And the Glorified chose from his descendants prophets, took from them the covenant for revelation, and the trust for conveying the message when most of his creation altered the covenant of Allah to them, became ignorant of his right, took associates beside him, and the devils turned them away from knowing him and cut him off from his worship. So he sent among them his messengers and dispatched to them his prophets successively, to demand from them fulfillment of the covenant of his nature, remind them of his forgotten blessing, argue against them through conveyance, stir for them the buried treasures of intellects, and show them signs of power, a raised roof above them, a spread bed beneath them, livelihoods that give them life, terms that destroy them, ailments that age them, and successive events that befall them. Allah the Glorified never left his creation without a sent prophet, a revealed book, a binding proof, or a standing path, messengers whose small number did not diminish them, nor the abundance of deniers against them, from a predecessor named for a successor, or remaining one who informed of the one before him. Thus generations passed, ages elapsed, fathers proceeded, and sons succeeded. Until Allah, the Glorified, sent Muhammad. Peace and blessings be upon him and his family, to fulfill his promise and complete his prophethood, with the covenant taken from the prophets, his signs renowned, his birth noble. The people of the earth at that time were in differing sects, scattered desires, divergent ways, some likening Allah to his creation, denying his name, or pointing to other than him. So he guided them through them from error and rescued them by his place from ignorance. Then the Glorified chose for Muhammad to meet him, approved for him what is with him, honored him from the abode of the world, and preferred him away from the station of trial, so he took him to himself graciously.
And he left among you what the prophets left in their nations, for they did not leave them aimlessly without a clear path or a standing sign. The book of your Lord among you, clarifying its lawful and unlawful obligations and excellences, abrogating and abrogated, permissions and mandates, particular and general, lessons and parables, absolute and restricted, clear and ambiguous. Explaining its summaries, clarifying its obscurities, some whose knowledge is obligated by covenant, some expanded upon the servants in ignorance of them, some established in the book as obligatory while its abrogation is known in the Sunnah. Obligatory in the Sunnah to take while its abandonment is permitted in the book, some obligatory for its time and ceasing in the future, distinguishing its prohibitions from major ones upon which he threatened his fire, to minor ones for which he prepared his forgiveness, and between an accepted minimum and an expanded maximum. And he obligated upon you pilgrimage to his sacred house, which he made a Qibla for mankind. They come to it like cattle come to water, and yearn toward it as doves yearn. The glorified made it a sign of their humility before his greatness and submission to his might. He chose from his creation hearers who responded to his call, confirmed his word, stood in the positions of his prophets and resembled his angels who circle his throne, gaining profits in the trade of his worship and hastening to his promised forgiveness. The glorified and exalted made it a symbol for Islam and a sanctuary for those seeking refuge. He obligated its right, mandated its pilgrimage, and prescribed your visitation to it, saying, the glorified. And Allah has a right upon people to pilgrimage the house, whoever can find a way to it. And whoever disbelieves, then indeed Allah is free from need of the worlds.